Hey, my name is April and I'm the peaceful wife. I would like to talk about how when a woman tries to be in charge in a marriage or in a dating relationship, um, she is forfeiting the benefits of being a woman in the relationship. And I don't think we realize this. I did not realize this, but if I try to be in charge, I am signaling to my husband that I want to be treated like a man. I am telling him that I am his competition, which does not foster intimacy. Men do not nurture, cherish, adore, coddle, and pamper their competition. They just don't. So when I try to be in charge, when I signal that I want to be treated like a man because I'm taking charge and I'm being disrespectful, maybe even, then I am telling my husband, I want to be treated as your equal and I want to be treated as your competition. So don't give me all the nice things that you would normally give to a woman. And I don't think we realize that that's what we're saying. But when I take over and usurp his authority that is given to him by God in 1 Corinthians 11:3, Ephesians chapter 5, Genesis 2 and 3, Titus 2, 2 through 5, and some other places too, I'm flipping God's design for the marriage relationship, and I'm trying to take the masculine standpoint, which is authority. I leave no role for my husband unless I expect him to take the feminine role of biblical submission and expect him to emasculate himself and become like my wife. Most men don't want to do that. And I really can't blame them because that's not what God designed them to do. God designed them to lead, but not just to lead for the sake of lording it over. That's not God's design, lording authority over somebody. God designed men to protect, provide for, take care of, shelter, nurture, and lead their wives and families. And when we focus so much on, but I've got to be equal, and we are of equal value. Men and women are of equal value to God. Galatians 3:28 says that all people, including men and women, are of equal value in God's sight. We are image bearers of God, just like men are. But when we focus on, I want to be equal to you, I want to be the same as you, then I'm saying I want to lead, and whoever is the leader does not get nurtured and cherished and pampered and protected and provided for. That's the leader's job to do those things. So if you try to take control of the marriage and the family and the relationship, and you want to be the boss and you want to tell him what to do and you want to dictate things, then he is not going to protect you and cherish and adore you because you are now his competition. You are now trying to take his place, and there's no other place left for him. He's either probably going to try to fight you to get that place back, or he will become passive and unplugged and sink into depression, most likely. I didn't know this stuff, and it's unfortunate because some of the very things that we are trained to do as girls and as young women in school and college and sports and music and everything are the things that destroy our marriages. We don't know to turn off the control at the door to our house and in our family. We don't know what it means to respect our husbands. We don't know what it means to biblically submit to them. But a man gets married because he wants to be married to a woman who needs him, who he can be the hero for, who he can protect and lead and guide and nurture and care for, not someone that's going to compete with him and be his enemy. He did not get married to have an enemy. That's not why men want to be married. And we don't want to be married for that reason either. And so, we want intimacy. And the thing is that as a woman, I can either have intimacy with my husband or I can try to have control but I can't have both. And that is a quote from Laura Doyle, The Surrendered Wife, and it's very true. Why would a man try to protect, adore, and cherish someone who is doing everything in her power to harm him and hurt him? We have so much power as wives to make our homes a haven, a sanctuary of peace, a place of harmony, beauty, light, and closeness. Or we can decide to turn our homes into a war zone where everyone is afraid, no one feels like they can talk, and it's every man for himself. And I know that's not what any of us want to do. If our husbands did everything we told them to do, if we try to take over and they actually did what we say we want them to do, we would lose all our respect for them as men. They would lose respect for themselves. Everybody would lose. But the great thing is, even though this is not culturally acceptable or politically correct, and it goes against our sinful nature, when we obey God, we are blessed in so many ways. When I show my husband respect and honor, it inspires him to want to be a more godly man. It inspires him to want to be a better man and to grow and to become the man God desires him to be. It makes him want to treat me better. It makes him want to be a better dad. It makes him, and I benefit from that. He benefits from it. Our children benefit, and God is glorified. God's design is very, very good. And everybody wins when we do things in obedience to God because we love God and want to honor him. If we're going to talk for a second about family conflicts, if there's a conflict between you and your husband's family and you want him to support you and to protect you, first you need to be sure that you are respecting him and that you are honoring his leadership. Because if you have taken over and you have told him, I'm the leader here and you better treat me like an equal, then he is not going to try to protect you from his family because you don't need protecting. You're acting like the man in the relationship. If you are respecting your husband but you're disrespectful to his family, you have taken yourself out from under his protection and his covering over you, and you're on your own. If you are purposely disrespecting his family, you are starting fights. He's not going to step in and intervene for you. If you want your husband to protect you, if there's a disagreement in the family, the way to do that is to honor him at home, respect him at home, honor him in front of others, and respect him there as well. And be sure you're treating his family with respect. Then, if they are mistreating you, he will want to step in and protect you if he can, if it's something he believes is truly a threat. Now, sometimes husbands don't think that something is as big of a deal as it seems to us at times. But if he really does believe there's a threat and you're treating him in a very honoring, respectful way, and you haven't been causing conflict with his family, then that's the best possible position for you to be in, for him to be willing to protect you. Keep in mind, too, that sometimes as wives, we think that it should be our job to go into our husband's family and to change things and change the emotional rules and change people's personalities. That is not our job. Those are grown adults. They can decide how they're going to live their lives. And it might be best if we let our husband handle a lot of the communication there because he understands how the family dynamics work, probably better than we do. I believe that as we honor God and obey him, and as we are full of his spirit, that we are going to be able to avoid a lot of conflicts, probably the majority of conflicts in our families and in our marriages, and we're going to experience God's spirit bringing unity in our marriages, in our nuclear family, and also even with our extended family. Sometimes conflict is inevitable, but as we seek to honor God and obey him and live in his power, he will give us wisdom. He will give our husbands wisdom to handle the situations that may come up, and he can use those for his good and our ultimate benefit as well. So thanks for watching, and if you want to check out my blog, I'm at www.peacefulwife.com. Thanks.